Sahana Vavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Saha Viryam Karavavai, Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavet Vishavai. Om Shanti. Shanti. Verse number 26 that we were studying says, whatsoever with devotion, whosoever with devotion offers me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, water, that devout offering of the striving self I accept. So here he is saying, whosoever offering, and then there is a additional factor with the devotion offering. You can offer mechanically, you can offer for something in return, or you can offer with devotion. So he says offering is not going to fetch you the result. The offering should be done with devotion. You offer because you want something in return. That offering is a transaction. You want something and you think God is capable of giving you that. Since God is capable of giving you that, you have to, you give something to God and God gives something to you in return. Parasparam bhavayantaha, as he said in chapter 3, you both will keep going. Nothing happens out of this way of transaction. Nothing happens out of this kind of devotional practice. In fact, it doesn't come under devotional practices at all. So whosoever with devotion offers. So important it is to offer, and more important than that is offering with devotion. Up to this we saw. And then he says that devout offering of the striving self. So one is it has to be done with devotion. Second is there has to be a prayatna, there has to be an effort that should go in. So offering should be done with effort. Offering should be done with devotion, and that offering must be backed by an effort. Effort means something that you cherish, something that you value, you give. That is striving. Whatever you cherish, whatever you value, whatsoever is meaningful to you, whatsoever you think is important, that you should offer. That is called as prayatatmanaha, the striving self. Therefore, a person who offers with devotion, I accept. That devotion make any leaf, flower, fruit, water. It is the devotion that is backing it, appeals to me, he says. It is not the leaf is appealing. It is not the Ganges water that is appealing. It is not the particular fruit that is appealing. It is not the particular flower is appealing. In the Puranic things, if you see, each and every god is described as something that they prefer, that they like, isn't it? Each and every god likes one thing, isn't it? What does Vishnu like? They say Vishnu is Alankara Priya. He likes to be decorated. Yeah. So he likes to be decorated all the time. So you go to Vishnu, you have to give him, you have to keep decorating him all the time. Yeah, you don't decorate yourself, you don't decorate Vishnu. So Vishnu is Alankara Priya. Okay. Shiva, they say is Abhisheka Priya. So you have to keep bathing him all the time. Put him in, keep him under water 24/7. He is happy. Surya, sun god, is what? That's why you do Namaskar. Surya Namaskar, they say, no? Why do they do Surya Namaskar? Because sun god likes Namaskara. The more you prostrate to him, more he will be. So each and every god is supposed to be liking something, not supposed to be liking something. All that doesn't apply here. For the devout seeker, doesn't apply here. For the devout seeker, what it means is, for the devout seeker, what applies is there that devotion. With that devotion, anything that you offer, leaf, flower, fruit, water, is appealing. And in that offering, there has to be some effort. What is the effort? Effort always implies, effort means doing, no? Why does it call it, why do we call it as effort? Effort implies there is a pain. That's why we call it as effort. Effortless we want to do, they say, isn't it? I should become effortless. Means what? Whatever I do, there should not be any pain. Here he's saying effort means there is a pain. And what is the pain? What is the pain? The pain of offering. Why there is offering? Why there is pain in the offering? Because that which you value, you don't want to give. That which you cherish, you don't want to give. That which is important to you, you give. In Kathopanishad, the starting point of Kathopanishad, the father was giving away gifts. The father was giving away gifts. Nachiketas went and Nachiketas saw what his father is giving. He says, the cow that drank water, the cow that used to drink water. It means what? The cow that used to drink water means it has stopped drinking now. The cow that used to yield milk means what? Now it has stopped yielding milk. So what was his father giving? His father was giving gifts, which is not giving at all. He simply one day the person is so bored, not knowing what to do, opened the cupboards and suddenly realized that they're having 50 shirts, 60 pants, I don't know, so many things which they don't even remember how much they have. And suddenly they decide to empty the cupboards. That is not offering. That is not giving. In giving, prayatatmanah, there has to be that prayatna in that effort. And Nachiketas went and told his father, don't give gifts like this. And the reward for that statement is he has to go to Yamaloka, isn't it? Yeah, the reward for that statement. Yama went and told his father, no, Marlam Kudugadingo, it's a problem. Father got very angry, and what did he do? He sent him to Yamaloka. Why? Because nobody likes to be told to give up that which you value. You like to hear give up that which is useless to you. You always like to hear give. give. And you also like to believe that you are a giver. And you also like to believe that you are a giver. And in that giving, what do you give? In that giving, what do you give? That which is not of any use to you. The clothes that is torn, isn't it? The cow that has stopped yielding milk, isn't it? Even that also somebody will take, but then here you will not get the benefit of the growth, the striving self, prayatatmana, the striving self. Therefore, you give, and you give it with devotion. And that devotion, and that what goes along with the devotion is the effort, prayatna. If all this is done, I will accept. What I will accept? I don't look into what you are offering. I don't look into the hundi, he said. Undiella na paakuradilla, he said. What he says, undilla podumbodu I look at you, he said. Remember that. That's all. I am not looking at what you are putting inside the hundi. I am looking at you. Based on that, I accept or reject. Clear? The temple trustee doesn't look at you. He doesn't care. The temple trustee will say, fill the hundi. What you do and all is your problem. God says, I don't look at the hundi. I look at you to decide whether to accept it or not. And when I look at you, what do I look at you? Is there devotion? Is there prayatna? If there is devotion and if there is prayatna, that I will accept. That I will accept. Morning sandhya has to be done, evening sandhya has to be done. But appada sir, that is the time that important serial is coming. That is the time I am having an important office meeting. Sir, in Vedanta also it is said Karma Yoga is only very important. And office meeting is very, very important. Suddenly at 6 o'clock, Karma Yoga comes in. At 4 o'clock and 3 o'clock, Karma Yoga in the office will not come. Suddenly at 6 o'clock, Karma Yoga will come. Suddenly at 6 o'clock, the important serial. Why? Because at this time, this is what you are supposed to do. When you are told that, you will not. You will not like that. Because you want to tell yourself that you are a giver, and you want to tell yourself that you are a noble person. And what will you give in order to get that title? What will you give? That which is of no use to you. That which is useless to you. But sir, that is useful to somebody. No. You will not come to me with this attitude. That's all he's saying. Whether it is useful or not is not the discussion. You will not come to me. Vijay. Your point is, when did I tell you I want you in the first place? I never told you I want you. No. Why are you getting so excited? Because I never told you I want you in the first place. What am I coming and telling you that I want? What am I asking? I don't want you. What am I asking? I'm asking for some mental solace. I'm asking for some material benefit. That is what I am asking for. Who's interested in you, God? I'm coming to you, God. Why? Not because I'm interested in you. I'm coming to you because you alone are capable of giving me this. Since I think you alone is capable of giving me this, I am coming to you. Suddenly, if somebody comes and proves to you that he is not capable of giving, what will happen? All the temples will close down, all the mosques will close down, all the churches will close down. You will not come to me. Okay, if I don't have you as the goal, then what will happen? If you don't have God as the goal, then what happens? You will have the disease. What is the disease? The disease of raga and dvesha. All problems is because of these two words, raga and dvesha. If you analyze any problem, if you analyze all problems, whether you like it or not, you accept it or not, the law doesn't change. You analyze all problems. Material problem, physical problem, emotional problem, I don't know what all problems you have. It boils down to raga and dvesha. Things did not happen as I wanted. Therefore, I have a problem. Correct? நினைச்ச மாதிரி எதுவுமே நடக்க மாட்டேன்றது சார். Things did not happen as I wanted. Therefore, I have a problem. Things do not happen as I want. Therefore, I have a problem. I do not see that things will not happen as I want. Therefore, I have a problem. Again and again and again, all problems, normal, abnormal, comes under raga, dvesha, full stop. You may not agree with this analysis. You will say, no, sir, but what you are saying is to some extent correct, but what you are saying is some extent it is correct, sir. I agree with you to some extent. But how can you exclude the other factors as the reason for my problems, as though only raga dvesha is problem? Raga dvesha is the cause for all your problems. You want freedom from problem, you should have freedom from raga dvesha. This freedom from problem, freedom from raga dvesha is what a person wanting to come to me is aspiring for. A person wanting me will be doing what? A person wanting me will not be sitting and worrying about doing what to do. A person wanting me will be constantly aware of how not to be a victim of raga and dvesha. You follow? That's what that person will be interested. How not to be a victim of raga dvesha. Therefore, devout self, striving. What are you striving for? What are you striving for? You are striving to eliminate raga dvesha. As you are striving to eliminate raga dvesha, you need to do a few things. With that attitude, with that bhavana, if you do, whatever you offer, I accept. Up to this, we have seen. This is verse number. Up to this, we have seen verse number 26. Up to this, we have seen. Now we will study verse number 27. 27.
Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madatpanam yat karoshi yadashnasi yajhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madatpanam.
Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give, whatever austerity you practice, O Kaunteya, do that as an offering to me. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give, whatever austerity you practice, O Kaunteya, do that as an offering to me. Now he's talking about these devotional practices. Previously, he said importance of devotion and the effort to reach God. Previously, effort is required and all that. Now he's elaborating on that. Now he's elaborating on the effort part. It means what? Whatever, yet means whatever, yet karoshi, yet, the word yet keeps repeated 6 times in this. So don't worry about that word yet. It means whatever. So what all you have to do? Karoshi, ashnasi, juhoshi, dadasi, tapasyasi. Whatever you do, doing, eating, offering, giving, austerity. Again, doing, eating, offering, giving, austerity. Do that as an offering to me. Whatever all these 5 you do it for me. Do it for me. Now what is he saying? Generally, people do prayers for their yoga and kshema. Yoga kshemam vahamiham. Generally, all prayers are done for what? For their yoga and for their kshema, isn't it? So yoga and all prayers are directed towards all prayers, all rituals, everything is dedicated to their yoga and kshema. Action is the same. The attitude makes it kamya karma or nishkama karma. Action is the same. The attitude behind the action makes it a yoga kshema type of action or actions for as an offering to me. Now, what is offering to me? Okay, when you do an action, start from here. When you do an action, you do expect a result. You do want something in return. How much ever you say, do actions without, you can only say while doing the action, don't be bothered about the results, you can say. You can never say, do an action without a result. Are you able to understand the difference? As you are, it can be only said, as you are doing the action, don't be worried about the result. For all actions will have a result in mind. You can call it result, you can call it goal, you can call it ideal. All means the same, because action is towards something. Action is always towards attaining something. Action is always towards getting something. Action is always towards reaching something. This is what action is, isn't it? So, yeah. In this nishkama karma, what result do you expect? You don't expect the result of yoga and kshema. You expect the result of inner purification, self-purification. So, the goal of devotion, the purpose of devotion is what? Is not to please God. The purpose of devotion is not to please God. The purpose of devotion is not to praise God. The purpose of devotion is self-purification. You can call it as self-purification or you can call it as self-development. In English, they call it as self-development. Sanskrit, classic Vedanta is Antakarana Shuddhi. So, all this devotion is towards purification. So, you do all these devotional practices because you have to purify. Okay. Now, what exactly is the purification? That is very clear. What exactly is the purification? We saw that already just a few minutes back. What is purification? What is purification? Purification means freedom from raga dvesha. Purification means freedom from raga and dvesha. Why this purification is important? Only a purified mind is capable of receiving the knowledge. We are all receiving the knowledge, but because of that inner purification that is lacking, it is not bringing about any change. As long as you know the language and you have ears to hear, you can gain knowledge, correct? See, for gaining knowledge, what do you need? For gaining knowledge, what do you need? Purification la thevilla. Kaadu olunga kekkanum. And language theriyum. You know the language, and if you can hear properly, you gain knowledge, correct? The knowledge of God, Vedantic knowledge, requires a very special preparation. Along with this hearing and language and all that, a special preparation is required. What is that special preparation? That special preparation is called Antakarana Shuddhi. That special preparation is called Antakarana Shuddhi. Otherwise, all that you have is you have an average intelligence. You understand all this. Vedanta will take you 6 months to understand. That's all. 6 months you can understand Vedanta and start giving lectures. And people also will. You will get hundreds and thousands and all you will get. I have never seen 40 people also. Ganesh got 250. When he went and gave discourses, he got 250. I said, from where did 250 come? And if Raghu starts speaking, oh my God, I also will go and sit, I think. I will start taking notes also. To gain knowledge, why do we talk about inner purification as an essential quality? Because only in the inner purity, a purified mind is capable of receiving the real knowledge. What is the real knowledge? What you call as me and what you call as God and what you call as moksha are all one and the same. Me, when Krishna says me, when Krishna says God, when Krishna says moksha, all these are one and the same. For a person to digest this knowledge, that inner purification is essential. Without this inner purification, you may be able to receive what? You may be able to receive the information and reproduce the information, but transformation will not happen. For transformation to happen, inner purification is necessary. And inner purification means freedom from raga, dvesha. And freedom from raga, dvesha means what? That is called inner purification. Freedom from raga, dvesha means what? You have nitya naimittika karma to do whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, whether you approve of it or not, you have your nitya naimittika karmas to be done and you do it. And whatever comes as a result, it is accepted as prasada. So, what is inner purification means? Doing your nitya naimittika karma. What is implied here when you are doing your nitya naimittika karma? Your bhavana is right. Your attitude is right. That's why we are talking about bhakti here. Previously, we spoke about doing action. From chapter 3 to 6, we spoke about doing action. From chapter 7 to 12, He's talking about doing action with right attitude. When you do this action with right attitude, what happens? The last 6 chapters, pure knowledge. What is the knowledge? What you are seeking, you are that. What you are seeking, you are that. Action doesn't purify you. Knowledge says you are pure already. Remember that. Now we are talking about actions to purify. When you do actions to purify, knowledge will reveal. And what is the knowledge that will reveal? What is the knowledge that you will reveal? Oh, you have become pure now. Knowledge will not reveal that. Knowledge will say, pure you are already. I am suffering from bondage. Action tells you that you are suffering from bondage. So, inner purification says, get free from bondage. Once you do all the necessary practices, knowledge will tell you what? Free you are already. Free you are already. Pure you are already. And you can hear this a million times, but nothing will change because the Antakarana Shuddhi is missing to receive this. Therefore, in this verse, what is he saying? Yat karoshi. Now the 5 things he's talking. Are you okay till now? Now the 5 things. So whatsoever you do it as an arpanam to me. Meaning what? You understand? God is not going to be elated by your offering. You get enriched. So bhakti is for self-purification. Bhakti is not for pleasing God. And most of the bhakti devotional people think they have to do something to please God. Please understand. God is not going to be elated. God is not going to be pleased. Why? Why? You can please somebody only when they want something. No. You can please somebody only when they want something. You can please somebody only when there is a demand. You can please somebody only when there is something that is lacking in them. You give that and make them happy. God or Brahman is Paripurna. Having said God is Paripurna, having said Brahman is Paripurna, what can you do to please? Therefore, by offering, God is not pleased. By offering, God is not going to be elated. By offering, you are enriched. What is that enrichment? That enrichment is inner purification. Inner purification means freedom from raga and dvesha. How do you know that you are bound by raga, dvesha? Symptoms are there, isn't it? How do you know you are bound by raga, dvesha? Symptoms. What are the symptoms? Understand the symptoms. Kama, raga, dvesha, krodha, lobha, mada, matsarya, bhaya. 8. Anshu, today I said rightly, no? Because she corrects me all the time. No? Sir, you missed that. Sir, you missed this. I said, okay. I never knew that people are checking on me also whether I am talking rightly or not, isn't it? So she only calls me and says, sir, you missed it. Anshu, I said it rightly, no? Kama, raga, dvesha, krodha, lobha, mada, matsarya, bhaya. So previously used to say only 5, now 3 is added to the list and it has become 8 now. Craving for what you don't have, attachment to what you have, that is kama and raga. Craving for what you don't have, As you are craving for what you don't have, you are attached to what you have already. So what you have already must be there. On top of it, something has to be added all the time. Yeah. At least the investment returns should beat the inflation, no sir, at least. Correct, Shankar? That's investment. Inflation is a drama, imaginary notion, isn't it? Inflation is or imagination. On top of it, the profit must beat the inflation, isn't it? This is called kama and raga. Craving for what you don't have, and attachment to what you have. And the third thing is what? Dvesha. Dvesha is what? You have a list of things that should never ever happen to you. Yeah. If those are the lists that you don't want to happen at all to you, what is that list? Don't tell me. Every one of us have that list, isn't it? So, kama, raga, and dvesha. This kama, raga, and dvesha is the virus. Manifestation of that, you are affected by virus. One is, what is the virus? Kama, raga, dvesha is the virus. Okay. How do you know that you are affected by the virus? How do you know that you are affected by the virus? Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya, and Bhaya. Inner purification means freedom from this 8. Inner purification means freedom from this 8. When you are free from this 8, you are receptive. You are receptive. Receptive to what? Receptive to gain the real knowledge. What is the real knowledge? That we know already. Yeah. We know the knowledge already. Now we are trying to prepare to receive the knowledge. The proper way is prepare them first and teach. The choice. Since that possibility itself is not existing, all are becoming like a chivuda now, isn't it? See, previously the education system was very clear. Yeah, LKG padikano, 5th padikano, 10th padikano, 12th padikano, entrance. Education has to go like that only. Ore class le ukatvechi ella solle kutta, what will happen? That's what is happening today in Vedanta class. Why all are getting mixed up? When I say all means all levels are getting mixed up. Why? Nobody has the time or patience to go through the sequence. What is the sequence? First, do the karma bhakti. Prepare yourself. Keep continuously doing karma bhakti. Keep preparing yourself. After preparation, padekshiyante tu jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Chapter 4, he said it. Tadviddi pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya padekshiyante tu jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Adallam pannin vanda, who will come and teach you? Tattva darshinaha will come and teach you. Tattva darshinaha will be teaching anyway. Because of lack of inner purification, it will not be revealed. It's there, but it is not revealed. Why? Because a covering. What is the covering? Raga Dvesha is the covering. Okay. Having said Raga Dvesha is the covering, that ought to be removed. How it ought to be removed? First is do action. Second is do that action with the right attitude. So solution is what? Action with right attitude. 12 chapters has to be done to explain action with right. Here in this verse, what is he talking about? Karoshi, whatsoever you do, you offer it to me. Doing. First is all doing is offering. Please understand. Offering means what? In relation to action, what is offering? In relation to action, whatever you do, there is going to be a result of that doing. That result of the doing you are matured enough to take it as prasada. So prasada buddhi is devotion. Prasada buddhi is devotion. Ashnasi. Ashnasi means eating. So first we discussed karoshi. The formula here is what? Do all this, but connect with me. Do all this, but keep your connection with me. Don't keep your connection with yoga and kshema. And don't keep your connection with yoga and kshema one leg and another leg on me. Don't do that also. Don't do yoga and kshema only, and don't keep one leg on yoga and kshema, another leg on me. Okay, take both the legs and keep it on me. It means what? Whatever you do. He's not saying do this. He's not saying do this. He's saying whatever you do. Are you able to understand the difference? Raj. He's not saying do this, this, this. He's saying whatever you do. Lead your use your life. Do what you are doing. He's not asking you to do something special. But in what you are doing, change. In what you are doing, change. Therefore, you are not required to change your doing. You are only required to change the attitude in the doing. And we all the time ask about changing the doing. We always ask about changing the doing. Here he's saying, whatever you do. What is it that you do? Sitting, walking, talking. FIFA World Cup, isn't it? FIFA World Cup. First day of the World Cup, heart attack because Saudi Arabia. We didn't even know Saudi Arabia has a football team, isn't it? We didn't even know that. And suddenly that Saudi Arabia football team won. Argentina. Then we thought, bomb Qatar and make sure that football doesn't exist only. Even watching FIFA World Cup, going to office, cooking, whatever you do, meaning all that you are doing now. See, whatever you do means what? All that you are doing now. And everybody has a set of things to do. So whatever you do it as an offering. And then comes Ashnasi. Ashnasi means eating. Eating implies what? Same thing, no. Eating implies what? Every 4 hours you have to eat, you have to measure the calories, you need to know what goes in, you need to know what doesn't go out, you need to worry about this, you need to so much of thinking goes on around eating, isn't it? Have you ever observed it? So much of planning, so much of thinking goes around eating, and it is important, please. Somebody has to do for you. Better you do it yourself. That's why I don't plan at all, sir. Somebody has to do it anyway. No. Are you able to follow? So eating, doing. Second is Ashnasi, eating. Eating means consuming. When you consume, you don't consume for pleasure. That's what it means. When you consume for pleasure. That's why you say Ragadvesha comes in. No, I don't like this. But it is given to you. Oh no, sir, I don't like this. Even if it is given, why should I take? Because I don't like Ragadvesha. Doesn't matter. Yeah, Ragadvesha. Whatever is consumed, whatever is given, you don't do it for pleasure. You do it for, like they say, the difference between pleasure eating and normal eating. What is pleasure eating? What is pleasure eating? You are invited for Let us say you are invited for lunch. What is pleasure eating? In a menu inniki, that is pleasure eating. Somebody has invited you for lunch, you go there, eat it as a prasad and come back. That is whatsoever you eat. Are you able to follow? Because that person is already worried about all that and making an effort. No. Why do you have to? Why do you have to worry about it? Simply go as a prasad, eat and come back. Ashnasi. Third one is Juhoshi. Juhoshi. Juhoshi means whatever you offer. What is the difference between whatever you do and whatever you offer? See, whatever you do sometimes can be what you need not to. Juhoshi means your Nitya Naimittika Karma. Okay. Watching FIFA World Cup, is it Nitya Naimittika Karma? Yes or no? Vijay? So football, sir, abdina innan getta, what do we do? Okay. See, going for a movie is not Nitya Naimittika Karma, isn't it? Going on a holiday is not Nitya Naimittika Karma. But even that you have, sometimes you do that also. You got to do in the course of life. In the course of life, you can't be only doing Nitya Naimittika. When I say you can't be doing, means you are not yet mature to that level now. So there are, so he's bringing a distinction. What is the distinction he is bringing? The distinction is whatever you are doing as in the regular lifestyle. Another is the Juhoshi, Nitya Naimittika. Nitya Naimittika means there are certain things that ought to be done. There are certain things that ought to be done every day. In those days, there is a set of Nitya Naimittika that was given. Nowadays, those list and all doesn't make any. Nowadays, those list doesn't make any difference, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What is a Nitya Karma for? What is a Nitya Karma for? The car driver. First, he has to come and clean the car, isn't it? First, he has to clean himself. And then second thing is he has to come and clean the car. No, sir, cleaning the car and all is not my job. No, what do we do? He is not understanding Nitya Karma. So Nitya Naimittika Karma. And then he is talking about Tapasyasi. What is Tapasyasi? Tapa here is a reference to the various types of spiritual disciplines that you follow, spiritual austerities that you follow, what is popularly called as pratams. It is popularly called as a pratam. So, yat tapasyasi. 5 things you are doing. 5 things. What are the 5 things? The list of 5. Doing, eating, giving, giving in dhanam. You have to give. Dadami, whatever you give in charity. Whatever you give because whatever you give, what makes you to give? What makes you to give? The recognition of abundance is what will make you to give. You cannot give because you yourself feel lacking. You yourself feel lacking. In order to give, you need to recognize abundance. And charity here is always a refer to. Charity here is not referring to Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna, Yoga Yajna, Swadhyaya Yajna and all. Charity here is a specific reference to dravya alone, material giving. In order to do, because since we are talking about spiritual practices and in the initial stages, it is always about dravya yajna and tapo yajna. Yoga yajna is not in the syllabus at this stage. Yoga yajna comes into the syllabus epo. That is why we straight away want to do yoga yajna and don't worry about dravya yajna and tapo yajna. Tapo yajna means what? Physically going and physically going. After the Zoom thing, sir, physical going is reduced, no? Because who wants to go in the traffic? Who wants to waste petrol? Environment also can be saved, isn't it? Suddenly that person become environmental conscious. Suddenly that person will become, I don't know what all conscious that person will become. When it can be done, through Zoom. What is tapas here? The material and the physical is tapas. That is why all tapas will have a material giving and a physical discipline. These two is necessary to bring about an inner purification. These two is necessary. Without these two, inner purification will not come. Therefore, yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yat juhoshi, tadhasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatsoever you do, you offer it to me. Now, offering means remembrance. Offering means remembrance. You offer it to me, mean what? See, offering, we can understand offering means if it is an object, you can take and give. What is offering here? Remembrance. What is the remembrance? Is it your yoga and kshema or is it self-purification? Is it your yoga and kshema or self-purification? Class is for self-purification, sir. Going to office and salary and all for yoga and kshema. In a class, you have fees kudukka matendringa. Yeah. Ram Subramaniam. We are coming to the classes, but you are not giving us any fees, sir. Actually, we should be paid to come to the class. Not only that, on top of it, you are also asking. That's double problem, isn't it? First thing is you are not paying. Second is you are asking. How all that works? It doesn't work like this, sir. Therefore, classes is for self-purification, yoga kshema, other activities for yoga and kshema. There is only one activity that you have. What is that only activity that you have? Self-purification is the only goal. To achieve that goal, you have various activities. Your only goal is self-purification. To achieve that self-purification, you have various activities. What is that activity? Whatsoever I am doing it for you. Or whatsoever I am doing it for you. For you means to remember you. To remember you. Change the focus from your happiness to purification. That's what is offering to me means. Offering to me means the change of focus from your happiness to purification. But sir, if only I am purified and others around me are not getting purified at all, sir. That's the problem, sir. Problem is I am purified. I am pure already. I am getting irritated only. People around me are not pure and they are interfering with me and they are agitating me and disturbing me. So, if there is a place where only pure people are there, nice, no? If there is a place where all knowledgeable people only exist, how nice it will be. Group discussion, isn't it? All knowledgeable people go only there. They only go there. I don't know why they go there, but they go there. Offering means remembering. Remembering what? Remembering not your happiness, remembering it is for purification. Purification for what? Purification so that you are receptive to gain knowledge. Purification for what? You are qualified to receive the knowledge. But that knowledge I have already, sir. Because of purification isn't there, that knowledge is not bringing about any transformation. The information is not bringing about transformation, because for transformation to happen, a purification is important. So, I'm eating, I'm bathing, I'm dressing, I'm cooking, I'm watching football, World Cup. In all these things, what is my focus? Purification is the focus, not happiness. This is the mantra. What is the mantra? Happiness is not the focus. Purification is the focus. Fuse purification solitamnale, you have to ask this question. Whose purification? Only one person. Whose purification? Srikanth. ஒரே ஒரு ஆள் பியூரிஃபிகேஷன் தான். யார் அந்த ஆளு? நான் தான். But others, sir, that you don't worry. You purify yourself. He only looks at, is your focus changed? God is concerned about what? God is concerned about, has your focus changed? And if your focus has changed, that is the only change that he wants. He doesn't want a lifestyle change. He is not looking for anything from you in specific. He is only asking, Yat Kurushvam, Tat Kurushvam, not yet. Tat Kurushvam, Mad Arpanam. Mat Arpanam. Mat Arpanam means do it for my sake. Therefore, this verse is talking about what? 26 spoke about devotion, importance of devotion. 27 is talking about the spiritual practices. What are the practices here? Doing, eating, offering, austerity, giving. The 5 things. But sir, doing, offering, giving, all means the same. No. Linguistically, all means the same. In practice, they are unique. They have a distinct and different practice. Linguistically, all may be the same, but they have a distinct and different aspect of practice. When you do all this, do that as an offering to me. When you do this as an offering to me, what happens? When you do this as an offering to me, what happens? Verse number 28. Verse number 28.
शुभाशुभफलैरेवं मोक्ष्यसे कर्मबन्धनैः सन्न्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो मामुपैष्यसि. शुभाशुभफलैरेवं मोक्ष्यसे कर्मबन्धनैः सन्न्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो मामुपैष्यसि.
Thus, you shall be freed from the bonds of actions, good and evil results. Seeking union by sannyasa yoga, yoga of renunciation, liberated, you shall come to me. Thus you shall be freed from the bonds of actions, good and evil results. Seeking union by sannyasa yoga, yoga of renunciation, liberated, you shall come to me. When you do those actions in that manner, what happens to you? You will thus, you shall be freed. You shall be freed from what? From the bonds of action. What is the bondage of action? Doing is not the bondage, the result is the bondage. Doing is never a bondage because how can you say doing is never a bondage? Nahi kaschit kshanamabhi jatu dishtatya akarmakrit. You cannot remain inactive even for a split second. Therefore, life equals constant action. Therefore, doing is never a bondage. And people believe doing is bondage. Are you able to understand the difference? So, doing is never a bondage. Then what is bondage? The results, the consequences. And what are the consequences? The consequences are Shubham, Ashubham. Good and evil. You can call it good and evil. You can call it pleasant and you can call it good and evil. You can call it as pleasant or unpleasant. Therefore, what are you? You do an action and this action causes the bondage of Shubham and Shubham, pleasant and unpleasant, karma bandha. Shubham, Ashubham, more popularly known as Punya and Papa. That's all. Both are one and the same. Shubham is Punyam, Ashubham is Papam. So Shubham, Ashubham, very, very colloquially, popularly known as Punyam and Papam. They do not bind you. How? Because since it is offered to me, remembering me, your inner purification has happened. Because your inner purification has happened, you are free from the bond. And then he says, actions bind you because of the results attached to it. That's what we saw. Actions bind you because of the result. So action is not a bondage. Your connection with the result is the bondage. The moment you are connected to the result, what happens? Inner purification is lost. How do you know inner purification is lost? Mental agitation is coming. The moment you are connected to the result, your purity is lost. How do you know that your purity is lost? Your purity is lost because of mental agitations set in. When mental agitations have set in, you understand that your purity is lost. This is an indication. Wherever you are mentally agitated, your purity is lost. But I'm agitated all the time, no, sir. Agitated all the time, no. தூங்கி எழுந்திருக்கும் போதே டயர்டா இருக்குது சார். I wake up tired. Even in sleep, there is no peace. I wake up tired. One of the persons here, he asked, sir, I wake up tired, sir. What do I do? Go back to sleep only. What else you can say? Isn't it? Even the sleep is not, the waking state is not peaceful. The dream state is not peaceful. Even deep sleep state also is not peaceful, because nowadays people don't know what deep sleep. Only in Vedanta class we are hearing deep sleep, deep sleep, deep sleep. In real life, people only experience agitated waking up, agitated sleeping, agitated waking up again. Where is this? Where is this deep sleep? Anesthesia gutta, deep sleep is coming. Otherwise, constant mental, that is an indication of lack of inner purification. That's an indication of lack of inner purification. Now, what is the result of doing actions as an offering to me? You are freed from the bondage of action. You will be freed from the effects of the action. What a freedom it is. You should be able to understand that. What a freedom it is that you can do whatever you want to do and there is no consequences. You can do whatever you want. And whatsoever you want, you can do, but there are no consequences is the freedom. That's what everybody wants. That's what everybody is aspiring for. But today, there is a consequence. Therefore, this person here has attained. And how did he do it? Sannyasa yoga. Sannyasa yoga. That beautiful word sannyasa and yoga. What does sannyasa means? Renunciation, giving up. What are you giving up? What are you giving up? Your yoga and kshema you are giving up. The focus on your yoga and kshema is being given up. Remember that. What are you giving up? The focus on your yoga and kshema is given up. It's called karma phala tyaga, renouncing the interest in the fruits of the action. Renouncing the interest in the fruits of the action. So what do you give up? So actually, what are you giving up? Eventually, what are you giving up? Raga and dvesha. Because it is raga dvesha that binds you with all these things. So what are you actually giving up? You are giving up that it is not the renunciation of action. It is renunciation in action, not renunciation of action. We have heard this a million times, still it is worth listening to it another million times also. It is not renunciation of action, it is renunciation in action. Sannyasa and yoga at the same time. Sannyasa yoga. Sannyasa, it's a compound word. Little bit of Sanskrit. Little bit of Sanskrit is involved. Little bit of the beauty of that thing is involved here. Yoga means doing. Sannyasa means renouncing. Correct? Nyasa means leaving. Sannyasa means nyasamna left. Sannyasana well left. Completely left. Yeah. Cricket they say well left, isn't it? Completely leaving. It's not just nyasam. It is some. The word some, the prefix some comes into this nyasam. So sannyasa itself means dropped, well left, dropped fully, dropped completely. So sannyasa is dropping completely and yoga is doing fully. So doing fully and dropping completely. That's sannyasa yoga. Purida? Sannyasa yoga means doing fully and dropping completely. Doing, dropping is sannyasa yoga. What are you doing and what is it that you are doing and what is it that you are dropping? Nitya naimittika you are doing. Raga dvesha you are dropping. You are dropping your attachment to the results you are dropping. Doing is not dropped. The craving or attachment to the result is dropped. The craving you result you stop pannale Action itself is becoming powerless, no? Action itself is becoming powerless because I am not no more motivated. No, it is the result that is always it is the result that is motivation. So what are you dropping? Your yoga and kshema is dropping. Your yoga and kshema is dropped. Doing what? For chitta shuddhi. So sannyasa yoga is what? Doing for chitta shuddhi, dropping raga dvesha. Doing for inner purification and dropping likes and dislikes. If you have to leave something, you must be holding on to something else. That is the law. Detachment is not possible without attachment. ஏதோ ஒன்ன புடிச்சாதான் ஏதோ ஒன்ன விட முடியும். Unless you catch hold of something, you cannot drop. So in order to drop, you have to catch hold, isn't it? Now whatever you catch hold becomes a bondage. Now what do you do? So actually what are you doing? You are not dropping anything. You are not dropping, or only developing new bondages. But here he is talking about sannyasa yoga. What is that sannyasa yoga? You drop. As you drop, as you are detaching yourself from something, you are attaching yourself to something else. You detach from something and you attach yourself to something else. What do you detach from? Your yoga and kshema. What do you attach to? Purification. Sannyasa yoga. What do you detach yourself from? Yoga and... Sir, but all this is fine, sir. But if I don't take care of me and my family, who will take care? I only have to do all this, no? Who will take care then? Who will take care? God is looking at you. Okay, since you are taking care, you are not allowing me to take care. Allow me to take care. And if you allow him to take care, and how he will take care? If you allow him to take care, how he will take care? Innala sir Gurupar, if I allow him to take care, if I allow God to take care, how God will take care? God will take care by creating mumukshatva. Iduvana sir, this we don't want. This kind of taking care we don't want. Are you able to understand? Okay, I'm willing to allow God to take care. How God will take care? How God will take care? All the material needs will be fulfilled. All the emotional needs will be fulfilled. The kama, the raga, the dvesha, and the moon condition. What all dvesha will not come at all. What all I have will never. What all I have, the value will never deteriorate. What all I want keeps it's coming. Oh, this is called yoga and kshema. So God will take care of me in this manner? No. How God will take care? How God will take care? God will take care by creating this raga, by eliminating this raga dvesha, creating mumukshatva. That is how he takes care. So if you want this, you leave it to God. Yoga and kshema will be automatically taken care of. It's a byproduct. Yoga and kshema becomes a byproduct of his caring. He doesn't even have to worry about giving you yoga and kshema and all. It's a byproduct. It happens by itself. All that we have seen already. All that ananya chintayanta mam ejana paryupasate desham nitya viyuktanam yoga kshemam ahamhem. All that we have seen already. So how now? So we are supposed to remember all that, at least till we conclude this chapter. Because in this chapter, we'll be using this word yoga and kshema. Next chapter, maybe we use some other word. I don't know what word will come there. So yoga and kshema, what is it that you do sannyas? Your yoga and kshema, you sannyas. Yoga you do for what? Yoga you do for what? Inner purification. So what do you drop? What do you drop? You drop your focus on yoga, kshema. But others, yoga, kshema, I am responsible. No, sir. God says, anyway, whether you like it or not, I am the one who's taking care of the yoga and kshema anyway. You just don't have the eyes to see it, that's all. It is not that you are giving them yoga and kshema. It's your nitya karma you are doing. Remember that. You are not giving yoga kshema to anybody. Remember that. You can only do your nitya naimittika karma. But people believe doing nitya naimittika karma is giving yoga kshema to others. No, sir. See, I am not interested in my yoga and kshema, but I am responsible to, at least the husband here, I am responsible. One daughter in Australia, I am responsible. One daughter in New Zealand, I am responsible. No, sir. I don't. Yoga kshema, I am not worried about my yoga. For them, their yoga and kshema, who will take care? Because anyway, from the beginning, who's taking care? I am only taking care. You unnecessarily thought you are taking care. Since you thought you are taking care, you came and messed up everything completely. Oh, so if you have left it to me, what I would have done? Okay. If you go and tell God, I leave you the choice. You give me whatever you want. What do you think God will give you? Prasad. இந்த கேள்வி மட்டும் God கிட்ட போய் சொல்றாதீங்க. Don't ever go and tell this to God, because you will be scared and you will run away from God. Supposing you go to God and say, oh God, I have left the choice to you. You give me whatever you want to give me, you give me. What will God give you? Immediately he will say, I bless you so that you develop mumukshatva. This I am not asking for. This I am not asking for. Okay, mumukshatva you give me, but my daughter and children, mumukshatva you give me, sir, God give me. Okay, I am not a materialistic person. I am not interested in wealth. I am not interested in health. I am not interested in anything. But since my family and all is so attached to all that, oh God, what do you do? Give me mumukshatva and increase their bank balance. Give me mumukshatva and increase their bank balance. Huh? It means, where lies your focus on yoga kshema? Bank balance only. God says, bank balance and all, I cannot do anything. Why? Because your bank balance increases at the reduction of someone else's bank balance. No. Both the bank balance increasing, correct? Your bank balance is decreasing or increasing while someone else is increasing or decreasing. Therefore, what should you ask God? What should you ask God? Leave the choice to him. Don't simply ask. I am doing my nitya naimittika karma and the choice is yours. I am doing my nitya naimittika karma and the choice is yours. Thus you shall be freed from the bonds of action. This is called sannyasa yoga, liberated. You shall come to me. You shall come to me. You will come to me. You will come to me means you and me will become one. You shall come to me doesn't mean you'll have a ticket to Goloka. Yeah, because Krishna's loka is Goloka, isn't it? Because Krishna's devotee should not go to Vaikunta, isn't it? Ticket mari vaangi vechukonu, correct? Which God you want, which loka you want to go, you should know how to buy the ticket. Station madri. Yes. You go to the railway station, there are so many counters. You should go and ask. Go lokamna and the ticket kudupanga. Vaikuntamna, that ticket they will give. Shiva Lokana, that ticket they will give. And the counter for moksha is Gali. Yeah, Gali means nobody is even going to that counter. And God is waiting in that counter, thinking somebody will come to this counter. And nobody is coming to this counter. Why? Because all other counters, you believe yoga and kshema there. Therefore you go there. This person is practicing sannyasa yoga, and a person practicing sannyasa yoga is freed from the bonds of action, and they come to me. This is verse number 28. With this, we conclude for today, and we continue with 29 onwards in the next.